Hey everyone, Pete Byrne, WSBT-22 Sports Director, joined as I am every week by Tyler James of blueandgold.com. Tyler, as the Irish sit here preparing to face Purdue in Week 3, they are still looking for win number 1, which is something that, despite the difficult schedule, I don't think anyone was expecting, given what we saw from the Irish a year ago, yet here they are.
Yeah, 0-2 is obviously the worst possible outcome for Notre Dame through 2 games. Doesn't matter how close you were on the scoreboard, the losses still count the same. Now, maybe if Notre Dame wins the rest of its regular season games, those outcomes and the closeness to them do matter in the college ball playoff discussion, but that's something that can't be really on Notre Dame's radar right now. They got to focus on winning games and winning them by any means possible. I think that starts with playing better defense, certainly with the way things played out on Saturday.
Yeah, close losses, good losses is something you talk about when you're a team with a resume. It's not something you can afford to talk about when you're 0-2. Marcus Freeman did say that today. The fact that they are close maybe disguises the fact that it's not good enough, and how you get it better is anyone's guess. And I think Marcus Freeman's struggling with it, as we all are. If it were a simple fix, if it were, hey, do this, play that guy, call this play, you do it. But they're struggling to identify where it's all going wrong. From your vantage point, what would you come up with suggestion-wise?
Yeah, the thing that's always hard when you're dealing with press conferences is like, well, what are they telling us and what is actually happening behind the scenes? Mm-hmm. Because Marcus Freeman's job isn't to throw his coaching staff or players under the bus, but he also is doing his best to address the questions that we're asking of him. And so when he talks about execution is a big part of what's going wrong, like that tends to be player specific, but then also why are they being put in the positions that they're not able to execute, and then that's coach specific. So I think it's probably a mixture of everything. Like explosive plays is something that they're really struggling with defending, and I asked him about that. He's like, listen, it's not like the same guy or the same issue on every explosive play. Sometimes we got a guy that's looking in the wrong spot. Some guys, I mean, there's one where Christian Gray doesn't help and has a missed tackle, and then it becomes a big play. So there's just so many different places that things are going wrong that it's hard to sort of point to one specific area other than the entire defense needs to play better. So I think you just got to keep working at it. I think you have to find ways to put guys in positions to pressure the quarterback more often, and then find ways to get the defensive backs to play with more confidence. Maybe not. It seems like whatever percentage of zone versus man coverage is being played, it seems like there's a lack of confidence from that DB position that those guys just aren't able to maybe play with the same level of intensity if they're running in man coverage the entire time and sort of play with that confidence like this guy's never getting the ball. When you're playing zone, it might be a little bit different. So maybe that's an issue that Notre Dame needs to resolve as well.
Here's one of the areas where it gets tricky. You say they need to keep working on it, which they do. Despite the record, Marcus Freeman's also right. They're not that far away from 5 points from 2-0,
right.
And you're feeling quite a bit different about the season at this point. It is human nature for these players to see that their goal may have passed them for the year. How hard is the challenge for Marcus Freeman to get his guys to work every bit as hard today, tomorrow, Wednesday, as it was a week or two ago when some of that stuff may not still be on the table?
I don't think it's that hard. I mean, these guys have individual pride, I think. You don't play football this long to just be like, well, we can't win a national championship now, so I guess we'll give up. I think there's a lot of guys that want to be better and need to be better and will stay driven to do that. So to me, that's not a big concern. I mean, there is like the very slim chance that if you run the table that maybe a playoff position still exists. But, yeah, there's a lot of pride. I mean, these guys have been waiting their whole lives for situations like this. So I think that to me that wouldn't be a reflection of Marcus Freeman. If that doesn't happen, I think that would be a reflection of the players. Sure. And they're here. I mean, they're funded scholarships. They're getting NIL money. They have a responsibility to themselves and their teammates to play better and stay focused.
Last year, this program had a letdown. They took it out on Purdue the next week.
Right.
You've got Purdue coming up again this Saturday here at home. This is a better Purdue football team, I think, than the one they saw a year ago. What do you expect from this Saturday, though?
Yeah, tough to say. I think Purdue probably would have rather Notre Dame win on this past Saturday because I think every sort of frustration that Notre Dame has, they're going to try and take out on Purdue. I mean, defensively, like you can't just like tackle someone if you're in the secondary, right? Like you have to still play good coverage. So frustration isn't necessarily going to make a difference there. But especially up front with the offensive line and defensive line, you'd like to think Notre Dame's going to have some advantages there in ways that maybe it didn't against Miami and Texas A&M. So those will be places that I think Notre Dame will try to lean on. But yeah, Notre Dame really needs to get right game. Purdue's the one that's in that path, but maybe Purdue will have some wrinkles and certainly can have some confidence coming in this game, seeing what other teams have done against Notre Dame so far.
Injury report, not too much to talk about today, but Noah Burnett does pop up on there. The kicker is questionable for Saturday. And I thought Marcus Freeman actually has kind of an interesting plan for this week in the event that Burnett can't kick.
Yeah, they're not sure who number 2 is. It sounds like they need to have a competition this week to decide if it's Eric Schmidt, the freshman, or Marcello Diomede that will be able to be in position to kick. And I mean, I know in the preseason, Marty Biaggi, special teams coordinator, discussed, well, maybe there's an opportunity that we have someone that kicks short field goals and kicks longer field goals. Maybe that's what happens between those two guys. Eric Schmidt generally has a pretty strong leg, although Marcello is being trusted to do kickoffs too. So obviously they trust his leg strength. So probably not the most reassuring way to talk about your backup kicker in that you don't know exactly who it is, but if they have 2 good options, then that could be fine. But I think certainly for Notre Dame's case, especially the way things went last year with Mitch Jeter and the injury issues, that if Burnett has something that could linger, maybe sitting him out and letting one of those other guys step in is the best case for them.
All right, Notre Dame gets back in action this Saturday afternoon, 3:30 right here at Notre Dame Stadium. We'll have much more with the Irish as they get set for Purdue. We'll also have more with the Boilermakers for our local viewers that are fans of Purdue. You can see that all week long on WSBT-22 and WSBT.com. And you can see all of Tyler's content and his team's content at blueandgold.com. Thanks for joining us.
I'm Pete Byrne from WSBT-22 News. For more Notre Dame stories, like and subscribe to the WSBT-22 YouTube page. Thanks for watching.